Well, as we head towards closure this morning, a very encouraging, a heartwarming story that is coming out of Gaza, and we're talking about the results of the general secondary examinations, and truly remarkable in every way, where we see how serious young people in Gaza take their education. And despite the genocide, despite the fear, the displacement that had taken place, and the constant shadow of death hanging over many young people. A young boy by the name of Osama succeeded, and he achieved an impressive 93.4%. And to unpack all of this, we joined by the director of the Islamic University of Gaza, Dr. Saeed El-Namrouti. Dr. Saeed, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome and Jazakallah khairan so much for your time. I think we have lost Dr. Saeed Al-Namrouti. We're going to try and get hold of him. We know that there is a bit of a problem, and we know that he is trying to reconnect. But I think this comes against the background and on the importance that the young people in Gaza place on education. And we know what 2 years of genocide has done to the entire education system, whether we're talking about schools, universities, little children who haven't been to school in well over 2 years, but yet they do their best. They try their utmost. And I recall in July 2023, when I did an interview, that was before October the 7th that happened. I recall doing an interview with Rana Shubair, who sadly was martyred after that. And she was one of the victims of this genocide. And when I spoke to Rana Shubair about this, it was at a time when the exam results had actually come out, and over 90% of those students in Gaza had achieved more than 90% in their examinations. And this actually just speaks volumes about the children of Gaza, about the level of education, about their intelligence, about how blessed they are, and more importantly, in terms of how serious they have taken their education. And once again, we see this with this young boy who's achieved 93.4%. And this was a message from his father talking about victory through hardship, where the father speaks about the son's remarkable achievements, and ending off by saying that the sun of our freedom will rise one day, and it is freedom through education. We've seen it here in South Africa as well, where we've seen a number of students that have come through to South Africa, the medical students as well. Dr. Saeed, I believe, is in the stream with audio once again. Dr. Saeed Al-Namrouti, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Jazakallah khairan so much for your time. Dr. Saeed, I'm talking about this remarkable achievement of this young boy by the name of Osama, 93.4%, despite all the hardships, despite the genocide, despite the displacement, the fear of death hanging over his head all the time. And I was just informing our viewers and our listeners, in July 2023, I spoke to an academic, Rana Shubair, who sadly got martyred in the genocide. And she was telling me at that point in time, before the genocide, 90% of the students had achieved over 90%. And this obviously speaks a lot about the education and the how serious the people of Gaza have taken their education.
Yeah, okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, it's been a while since last time I talked to my beloved community in South Africa. So my warm regards to you and to our, listeners and everybody in South Africa who continues and demonstrate a huge stand and support to the Palestinian cause. And we really, as Palestinians, appreciate that so much. And all the time, we hope that Palestine will be free as South Africa, struggles and was able to overcome the apartheid regime in the last, decades. However, we've been through a horrific war for 2 years that destroyed every aspect of our life, including education, including infrastructure, including health sector. They tried, to destroy not only buildings and infrastructure, but also humanity. However, we, the Palestinian people, characterized with such a steadfastness and resilience that give us the ability to cope with all kind of challenges and difficulties. Yes, we acknowledge that we has been exposed for 2 years in a continuous genocide and a massive destruction of buildings, houses, streets, trees, every aspect of our life. Nevertheless, they try to destroy our humanity, our spirit, to be just, like people who have no hope, who have no choice, who have no ability even to build or to move forward. So we always, and I said that in South Africa because you might know that I got my PhD from Wits University in South Africa, and I spent such a lovely time, years in South Africa. So I have such good relationship with all parts of community in South Africa. So we are, as Palestinian peoples, keen to education. We all the time educate ourselves, and we strongly believe, as the great Mandela says, that education is the most important, weapon that we all tool that we have against oppression and against, occupation. So our people struggle in these 2 years, no matter what, in spite of the very little resources that we have. Even we don't have any resources, but education always comes first. We try, we struggle, we did our best to educate our new generations, our people, our kids, just to move even with the minimum of tools that we have. So Osama is just a symbol of tens of thousands of Palestinian students who have no school, who have no place, who have no electricity, who have no sufficient or good food, who have no clean water. We actually with nothing, who don't have even a desk to study. You don't have even, books to study as normals. But we put this as high a priority. Those students, our kids, we should learn them, we should teach them, we should give them the opportunity to keep going in the education process, even under bombing, even under displacement, even under, horrific death that comes every minute and every night. So Osama was assembled. He got such a remarkable, marks with 1993.4, Alhamdulillah. And I hopefully that he will be able to join university in South Africa, in Cape Town, Wits, or UCT, or any good universities that I'm really know the high ranks and levels of the South African university. Osama reflects the case of struggle, reflects the case that we want to keep moving no matter what. We have to achieve our goals, and education will be the tool that we have on our hands. So alhamdulillah, I'm, as a father, as a Palestinian, academic, I'm an academic and teach thousands of students, university students, in the last, 10 years. So I know what does that mean when you have, such a remarkable marks in such a horrific and genocide, circumstances.
Well, certainly, Dr. Said. In fact, it's very, very heartwarming, and it actually makes one proud to listen to what you have just been saying, because, Osama, as you mentioned, is a symbol of what thousands and thousands of Palestinian young people represent, and their passion for education. And despite, and then you mentioned, you went into detail all the extreme adversities and the that they were faced with throughout this time, and still to be able to achieve this result once again bears testimony with regard to Palestine, and how remarkable the people of Palestine are. And for me, I've always said, and I will continue saying this, that if there is one nation that has been chosen out of all the nations throughout the entire world, a nation that has been chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the nation of Palestine. And, there are just so much that we can take in terms of inspiration from the people of Palestine. Young people can take inspiration, and the world can take many a lesson from the people of Palestine, and what, you have been able to achieve, Dr. Said.
Yes, that's completely true, and you can imagine, that when you have nothing, and how come you will be able, under bombs, under death, under fear, that you just, try to hold your book and to start to learn, even for 1 hour a day or 2 hours. It's a kind of, a different kind of struggle that need, pushing, need an aspiration, need, such an energy, with faith, with the steadfastness, with the, hope, to push your kids and students in schools and in universities to keep going with the education process. It was a real struggle, besides the struggle that we have experienced in the last 2 years. But by the end of the day, alhamdulillah, thousands of students was able to pass these tough conditions, and a lot of them, like Osama, has achieved good remarks, alhamdulillah.
Yes, Dr. Said, please pass our congratulations to Osama and to any of the other students as well. Really, we are
Inshallah.
obviously,
Thank you so much.
alhamdulillah, like I said, it is a blessing of Allah that, this can be achieved. And, the point that you had made with regard to South Africa, and I'm sure that, people who are listening, and also there may be organizations that we could possibly reach out to as well. As you mentioned, you would love to see Osama coming to a place like South Africa, studying in South Africa to further his university studies, as we have seen with a number of other Palestinian students. We know those that came to complete their final year medicine in South Africa at Wits University, at the UCT University as well. So inshallah, I'm sure that, South Africans will be more than willing to accommodate students like Osama in this country, inshallah.
No doubt, inshallah. And we have the pleasure, to keep such a warm and very tight relationship with our beloved community in South Africa, in the government, and in the, community dignitaries and the people, the massive people as a whole. So thank you so much for everyone in South Africa.
Well, inshallah, and I think, just want to sum it up with what my producer has given me, saying the sun of our freedom will rise one day, and inshallah, yes, we will continue, inshallah, working towards seeing that sun of freedom shining very, very brightly for Palestine, and very soon, inshallah.
Inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah, Ameen to you as well, and Jazakallah to you, Dr. Said, for coming on and sharing this very, very heartwarming story with us, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Assalamu.
Director of Islamic University in Gaza, Dr. Said El-Namrouti, with us this morning. We're going to go for a very quick break. We come back, we have got a nikah announcement before we terminate this morning's broadcast of News and Views right here on Salam Media.